You are probably, hopefully, an intelligent human being. However, your brain is very, very dumb. Most people hear this and they think I'm insane when I say this because they think that they are their brain, but they're not. You're two different things. And because there's that difference of your intelligence compared to your brain's lack of intelligence, it's very easy to trick it into doing hard things that it may not otherwise want to do. Now, what do I mean by that? And this just further proves the point that you are not your brain. Have you ever wanted to do something really difficult, like start a business, work on your business, work out every day, start a new career, go to school every day on time, put in overtime hours at work, right? You may want to do these things, maybe even read. I struggle a lot with that reading, but your brain does not want to do these things. And because you are stronger than your brain, the first few days that you decide to dedicate to this new hobby, let's just say reading, for example, the first few days that you decide to put towards reading, it'll happen. It'll happen well. Probably won't be very distracted. But after 2 or 3 days, distractions will start coming in. You'll feel hungry and feel the need to cook. A new episode of your show will come out, so you'll have to go watch it. Someone needs a babysitter, so you'll have to go and babysit. Now, this is all your brain making things up for you. Maybe not that babysitter part. Maybe if you're a good, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, whatever, then you'll go babysit. But for the other examples, it's pretty much just your brain making excuses. There's no reason you can't push dinner back 30 minutes so you could go read the book you really want to read, or go work out for 10 minutes in your home, even if it's 50 push-ups. There's no reason these things can't happen, but your brain will not let you do them. Now, let me explain why. This is your brain. It's your brain. And it works kind of like an old school computer does, or maybe new computers, I don't know. But old school computers would operate off a binary system, which means just ones and zeros. Obviously, this is like an off the wall example, but it kind of works the same way. Just a 1 and a 0. And when you get ones, certain parts of the area light up and tell you to get more ones. And when you get zeros, certain parts of your brain light up and tells you to get away from the zeros. 1 is dopamine and 0 is obviously pain. You can actually use this to your advantage. If you create systems in your life that produce dopamine, then you will train your brain to do those hard things in search of dopamine. So how am I using this to do hard things? So I am putting Toro kind of on the back burner right now because we are strapped for money, which means I have to get a job. And I actually clock in for the first time in 3.5 hours, for the first time in like 6 or 7 months. So that means that I have to either wake up earlier or go to bed later in order to work on Toro. Now, I have contractors and things in place to keep Toro running during the day, but in order for me to sustain my life and pay my bills and pay rent and things, I need that second source of income so that I don't have to pull it out of Toro and stop our growth. So I have decided to wake up earlier instead of going to bed later. And how am I doing this? Well, it's actually 5:30 in the morning right now. I've been up till 4 because for the rest of this week, it's basically going to be a dopamine week. How am I training my brain to do this? So we wake up at 4 a.m. and immediately I take a warm shower. There's a million and one ways of explaining why a cold shower is good for you, why it wakes you up in the morning, and a million and one things. But I don't care. I like warm showers, and I can feel my body like radiating when I take a warm shower. I love that feeling. And that is my first dopamine hit. So I wake up at 4 a.m. and I use this thing called Bose sleep buds. And you can set an alarm to trigger in the earbuds themselves. Now, they're low radiation, they're low frequency, so it's not a hard Bluetooth thing next to your brain. But at 4 a.m., I get a little like soft raining sound noise that wakes me up. And that's my trigger. Now, the trigger lets me know that it's time for a warm shower. And your brain works the same way a dog's brain works, which is you hear a bell, you go pee, you come back, you get a treat. Or you hear a bell and it's time to eat. You know, it's the exact same thing. So my trigger is hearing that alarm, and my reward is a warm shower. Then I get out the shower, get dressed, obviously ready for the day. I go to the kitchen behind me, go in the fridge, and I pour myself a glass of coffee. Now, caffeine is horrible for you. I haven't drunk caffeine consistently in like a year. I drink it the same way most people would drink alcohol. Just like, I'm not an alcoholic, so I don't drink it every day, but if I go out with friends, I might drink, you know, a glass or two. And that's kind of how I treat coffee. But for the next week, week and a half, I will be drinking coffee every morning. And it's amazing. So this is around 4:30. Yeesh. Writing with a mouse is difficult. So then, after I've got my coffee, I sit down at my desk. This is actually so hard. I sit down at my desk and I load up YouTube and watch heartwarming videos for 30 minutes. Now, why? There's actual science to prove that when we see humans doing good things, it makes us happy. One, it makes us happy, which obviously releases dopamine. And two, makes us want to be good humans also. So this is just another hit of dopamine. And then I'll do that for 30 minutes. And at 5 a.m., I'll go on Twitter and scroll for another 30 minutes. So now Twitter and YouTube are the only social medias that I use ever. And I have a hard 30-minute limit on Twitter every single day. So you can see here that in the first hour of being awake, hour and a half really, because this goes on until 5:30, it's an hour and a half of consistent dopamine hits. And this is what I'm doing to train myself. Okay, so we've talked about the dopamine hits I'm giving myself. We've talked about how I'm rewarding myself for positive behavior. But let's talk about the zeros, the pain that I'm going to be inflicting on myself. And I don't mean literal pain. I'm not like harming myself or anything like that. I just mean anti-dopamine, right? So if I don't wake up at 4 a.m., regardless of what time I wake up, then I won't be able to take a shower until it's the very last minute, which I hate. The first thing I like to do in the morning is shower, because otherwise I feel like icky and sticky, right? And I don't really know why that is, because obviously I'm clean, all I do is sleep, but I don't know, but I hate it. So that's my first hit of pain. And then I want to allow myself any time on YouTube or Twitter, and I don't use any other social medias anyway, and I can't drink coffee for that day. Now, I'm sure I could think up of other more efficient, better ways to punish myself, but for now, that's what I've got. This is, again, my first day. I kind of came up with this last night, and so far it works pretty well. Now, the first day is always the easiest. It's kind of like setting New Year's like resolutions. You're really good for like that first week of, January, but then it starts getting a little bit harder, and then eventually you just stop. So I'm documenting this the same way I was documenting my monk mode, and I'll be bringing those back. I'm also still in monk mode, so I'm still meditating every morning. I'm still, doing everything that it is that I have to do on my warm app and things like that. But right now, for the next week and a half to 2 weeks, my main goal is consistently waking up at 4 a.m., consistently going to bed at 8 p.m.-ish. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think everything else will fall into place once I get those two things to fall in line. So this is a basic overview of general human psychology and how I'm pretty sure all animals, but definitely all mammals work. Trigger, action, reward. And that's it. That's the only cycle you need to know to train yourself to do the hard things, to train yourself to avoid things you don't want to do, and how to train yourself to basically do the things you want to do, but can never find yourself doing. So with that said, thanks for watching. I'll probably have another video tomorrow. Peace.